Łukasz Napora was a co-creator of one of Poland's biggest music festivals, Audioriver. He was there from the inception until 2017 and was responsible for marketing, public relations and partly for the programme. Every year was a sellout from 2013 onwards, and the event now gathers 30,000 people over 3 days. Łukasz is currently working as a freelance consultant and helps all kinds of music and brands with getting their message across. His list of clients include jazz pianist Paweł Kaczmarczyk, Warsaw Club Sketch Night, as well as an international PR agency, Grayling. He also gives lectures on public relations at the Academy for Music Managers. Łukasz used to be a music journalist for over 15 years. He was the editor-in-chief of T-Mobile Electronic Beats show on 4Fun TV and was co-responsible for electronicbeats.pl. Prior to that, he had his own show on Polish Radio 4, worked for 3 different TV stations as a host, and had his own column in a music magazine and co-created soundrevolt.com, a bilingual website dedicated to electronic music. Welcome to Poland Daily Culture. I'm John Carter, and on this week we'll be looking into Polish electronic music. I'm joined by my guest today, Mr. Łukasz Napora.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. This is kind of something that, therefore, I would just sort of be vaguely familiar with, many years ago, So for me, like I at least knew the name Scalpel at that time, and
That's great. That's great, but. We were, at that time, we weren't that strong production-wise. I think the equipment, I don't know, maybe the money, the time we can spend on making music, I think is the problem right now as well. But we've never had too many producers. One guy that he wasn't a pioneer, but a guy that also broke for a while was Jacaszek, who released in Ghostly International, which is Matthew Deer's label in the States. But there was like really single events of people popping up here and there. Cats and Dogs were also like a big thing, and they are still. But that's not the pioneer. They were not pioneers. They broke in like 2000-ish, let's say. But the electronic music in Poland emerged DJ-wise and club-wise. Like the first club in Warsaw was founded in 1992. I think, if I don't mix it up, it was called Fabryka, or...
That's funny.
I don't know if I'm mixing it. I did a documentary about it, but I don't know if I'm not mixing the...
I wonder if they sort of touched on that, referenced it. You know, the biggest club in London is Fabric.
Yes,
and I wonder if they took a little element.
I don't think so.
No, unheard of in Britain.
I think I'm mixing it up, but there was a club, and people like Ecstasy was playing there, Bogusz Jr. So there was a big DJ scene. People were going to Berlin to buy vinyls, and that's how the DJ scene was growing.
Yeah.
But from this to production was always a very huge leap to break to production. So for many years we only had DJs, and we didn't have too many producers. And if we had producers, we had them locally, and they sounded locally.
Pots and pans.
Yeah, probably.
Electronic music is a way of connecting people, gathering together just for the feeling.
You know, there was maybe I'm reading too much into it, or I kind of focused on a particular few artists, but I did notice that there were quite a few producers, DJs, who tended to be from west of Poland. I don't know, Wrocław, Szczecin, etc. And so I wonder if, therefore, because they were bordered with Germany, that they had greater opportunity, or at least to cross into Germany, and therefore influenced by what was going on across the border. And
one of the fastest growing scene in Poland was Poznań. And Poznań is like a 1 hour drive from Berlin.
Yeah.
So there was a club S-Club, which was, they had all the big names, and they had great DJs. There was also a great connection between Poznań and Warsaw, so all this like was growing together. About those DJs, well, and producers, many of them left Poland. Cats and Dogs, for example. They're from Szczecin, and they have moved to. They already got some recognition, but when they started building the momentum, they went to Berlin, and that's where you need to be there sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, it's much easier to travel from Berlin. Well, at least it used to be. Right now, maybe Warsaw is better connected than it used to be like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But 10 years ago, definitely. But still, at this time, we have VTSS, like a young girl doing techno music. She broke when she went. Her career left off when she moved to Berlin. Błażej Malinowski recently played in Berghain, which is the most important club in the world. He moved to Berlin to get a booking in Berghain. So there are also two girls right now, very talented. Vonda 7. She moved to, I think, to the UK and then to Amsterdam, and she did a very famous, a course at a very famous school for electronic music producers, which you don't have in Poland. Well, you have, but it's a completely different level. And then she started to go to parties and to after parties, and she met some well-known DJ and another well-known DJs. So you need to have the personal connections to be able to release something on a label, because they get tons of music, the people that run the labels, and sometimes you just need to know the person in person to have this. So a lot of the people, the Polish people that are famous outside of Poland, are already outside of Poland. Another name, Magda. It was actually funny because I was living in Pińczów, and my mother was a director at Dom Kultury, and which is like a house of culture, let's say, a local culture place. And she had a friend who was like a painter and a sculptor, and he knew that I was already listening to electronic music, like Prodigy, Chemical Brothers. That was like 96, 7. And he said, "Oh, my cousin is living in Boston, in Detroit, and she's making some music for fashion shows, and would you like to check it?" I said, "Yeah, give me the CD." So he gave me the CD, and I listened to it, and it was unlistenable for me at that time. It was like clicky, clacky, like Detroit techno minimal stuff. And then 5 years later, I'm in Warsaw, I'm already a journalist, and I hear about a Polish girl called Magda being in the crew of one of top DJs in the world, Richie Houghton. And I was like, Magda, I remember some Magda from Detroit. And it's the same girl, I had her promo. I think it's worth something now,
wow.
the city. So it's funny how these things interact. And she was actually from my city, from the city, from a little, from the countryside. I remember picking up my mother from her house on one night.
Wow.
So it's like we almost met at that time, and she's big, she's huge, but still she broke when she moved.
Mr. Łukasz Napora, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Join us next time on Poland Daily Culture, and we'll be back again same time tomorrow. Goodbye.